Hey guys, my name is V and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be reviewing the third and the fourth episode of Love is Blind season 8. Now, guys, I have taken a little look at the next few episodes, just a tiny little look to see where we're going to be at. And it looks like we are going to be in the pods for all 6 episodes. So that means conversation after conversation. So we just need to hang in there and let's get started. So today we're not going to go into any specific chronological order. We're just going to be talking about the couples themselves. Now, the first couple we're going to be talking about is the reveal of Monica and Joey. Now, this was kind of funny because Monica was so nervous and it was a really cute reveal. You could definitely see that both of them really liked each other. They liked what they saw. And Monica was just complete. She could not get it together. She was just super nervous. But who caught those comments that Monica was making about Joey's hair? Did you guys see that? Monica, girl, we definitely caught those comments that she was making about Joey's hair. And she was asking, are you going to put that in a bun? And he was like, I don't know how to put that in a bun. And she was just like, well, we need to do something about that hair now. And I definitely thought it was super funny. Now, I do think that she might prefer guys with shorter hair. That's why she made those comments. And I think that Joey is definitely willing to cut the hair. He did mention that he is willing to grow the hair. I think it was to shoulder length or to like waist length and then donate it. Now, according to Miss Monica, now sis was not with it. She wanted that hair off, off. So that was really funny, guys. But we definitely caught that, Monica. And we supported, girl. That hair has to go. It has to go. He looks so much better without the hair. Sorry, Joey. Just a personal preference. That's it. Now, let's move on to the next couple that we have at hand, which is Miss Taylor and Daniel. Now, there's not much to say about this couple. Throughout the few episodes, we did see them speaking more about what their expectations are and where they want to go as a couple and how does that look like in the future. Now, a side note, her voice did actually improve, so she's back to normal. She's back to just being basic Taylor. So that was cute and that was really noticeable. So definitely a thumbs up for her. But like I said, nothing really noticeable about that couple. I did like the fact that Daniel did validate her fears, which was that she was very fearful of ending up alone, and I think that that is something that is very common. And I think that he did a really good job validating her and making sure that she is seen and feels loved. So that was definitely a plus on Daniel's side. But other than that, there was really nothing. There was really nothing noteworthy. And I'm not saying that healthy, stable relationship is boring. I'm not saying that at all. Please do not come for me. Please do not come for me. I am just saying that it was really just a easy pace and it was really cute. However, I do think that the problems will definitely come later when they actually meet up in person. So that is definitely something that we will see later on with these two. Now, moving on to the next couple, which this actually got quite interesting this episode, Ben and Sarah. Now, moving on to the little bit more spicy side of their conversation. Now, Mr. Ben, this was definitely side-eye worthy. Now, they did start talking about injustices. Sarah actually asked him what are his thoughts on just injustices, racism, and specifically what happened to George Floyd. What are his thoughts on that? And Mr. Ben was like, it's not my problem. It is not my problem, or leave me alone. And I was just like, whoa. So I don't want to like go hard on him and I want to keep this short because this is heavy. Like this is a heavy loaded conversation. I do think that he did say that he just doesn't get involved. And I think that it's easy to, of course, construe it or misinterpret that. I want to play devil's advocate here and say that the reason why he said that is because most of us when something does not relate to us, we don't tend to really get passionate about it. Most of the injustices happening in the US are happening towards people of color, which he is not. He lives in a very white dominated state. And for him, this is not something he can relate to. Of course, this is something that he thinks is probably sad, but he doesn't have any, there's no relatability aspect that, that he can see. So I think that that is the reason why he says he just doesn't, and he would like to keep it neutral because he is on TV. Now, on the other hand, this is how it could be interpreted. I do think that he was like, I'm on TV. My thoughts on this is really controversial, and I do not want to say it right here before I'm going to get canceled. So let me just keep my mouth shut and say that I do not get involved and be neutral. I don't know. I don't know. But that is definitely how those two, or that comment specifically, can be interpreted. Like I said, just to be fair to him, I'm going to just put in a little bit of story time here now and say, like, back then, and I mean back then when I was stupid and young and stupid, and I mean stupid, I would always see these ads about like skin cancer and how you need to protect your skin and wear sunblock and all these things. And for me, I was like, I am black. Why do I need sunblock? The sun loves me. The sun loves me. So why do I need to protect myself? I don't see any black people getting skin cancer. And that was where I was definitely stupid. Because later on, when I grew up or when I was mature or when I started learning it a little bit more, I did start to see that that affected black people as well, of melanated skin. So of course, then I was like, oh, girl, I need to get that sunblock. I need to protect my skin. And of course, now I do. When I go out, I definitely wear sunblock. And I think that it is a very silly comparison because this is such a serious topic and I wanted to bring it back to being lighthearted. But I just wanted to say that when you don't see it being related to you, this injustice happening to people that looks like you tend to like be like, oh, this is not my fight. And I don't want to like say anything because I'm not educated or I do not have a dog in this fight. So this is what I'm hoping this was, but you never know, you know? He did mention later on that he would like to get more educated on the topic to be able to speak on it. So it gave us hope. But yeah, I can see where this becomes a very loaded question and it becomes very controversial real quick. But let's give Ben the benefit of the doubt until he proves us wrong. And let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it cute and keep it pushing. Now, on to the next couple, guys. Lauren and Dave. Now, this couple has potential, I think. I do see there are a few similarities. I just don't, let me just be upfront. I do not like Dave. I think that he is a snake. Simple as that. I really don't like him as a person. I didn't like the comparisons that he was making between Lauren and Molly, where he was like saying that Lauren is a nerd because she's a teacher and that Molly is a dancer. So that means I guess she's the cool girl. That was so silly. That is so childish. That is really like high school mentality or like a college bro, frat boy mentality. I did not like that at all. It was just so basic. I'm sorry, but I really did not like it. And I do see that he tends to be a bit more guarded with Lauren, and they were speaking about kids and responsibility, chores, and things like that. And he did mention that he doesn't mind doing the dishes if she does the laundry, and they can, you know, pretty much they can balance each other out with chores, responsibility. And she mentioned that she would like to share responsibilities or chores equally with her partner. And he was like, oh, yeah, 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 just agreeing and saying, like, yeah, I definitely agree and stuff. And I was just like, okay, we will see. I don't know, but we will see. Now, when it comes to Molly, on the other hand, I feel like he is more talkative and he speaks without any or less barrier. He speaks a little bit more freely. And what I didn't like about Molly is that she would just agree with everything. And it could be her opinion too, to be honest. He was very, how can I say, in the middle of the pendulum between a lot of topics such as politics, religion. He was very open-minded, and she was just agreeing towards it. Yeah, I'm also like that. I'm very neutral in a way, and she was just agrees and goes with it. And I don't know, but it's coming across a bit pushoverish and someone that is doing things to please her man. Now, I might be completely wrong here, and Molly might be a headstrong, opinionated person. Who knows? But based on the edit and based on what we see, it's coming across as she is a pushover. Now, outside of the pods, Molly does present a bit more of a personality. I don't remember how old she is, but I do remember that she is quite young. She's not like among the older girls, and she was very open and gushing about her relationship and connection towards Mr. Snake, aka Dave, and which was really kind of getting to Lauren. I mean, she was really upset about it, and you could definitely see it. It was very visible. And for some reason, I would like to believe that she was doing that because she is youthful, she is young, and she has not grasped that aspect of like, hey, let me look around. Let me actually like be mindful of my surroundings. Now we are dating the same guy. There might be some girls who are also falling in love with him here. Let me be mindful of my surroundings and actually not gush like a 13-year-old girl about this connection that we know is false. But whatever. Anyways, but I don't know. It was something that I would like to believe and trust her and say that it was something that she just was not really, was just doing out of happiness and in a moment. And that she didn't do it to manipulate Lauren's situation, because it was getting to Lauren. You could visibly see that because, of course, like they have this, they're dating the same guy, and it is very upsetting when you are having such amazing conversations with a guy, and then you overhear someone saying that, oh, our connection is so strong, he validates me here or whatever, and he's saying I'm the one and whatever. So of course I can understand where that those feelings are coming from. So I'm choosing to believe that Molly is not doing that on purpose to manipulate the situation, but rather doing it out of being in a moment and just the emotions are just running loose. So that is my thoughts on that. Now, we have to move on to the next couple here. And if you guys see that I'm looking down, it's because my notes are here, because I do not want to miss a thing. So the next couple that we have up here is our threesome. Devin, Britt, and Virginia. Now, there was not really much to actually extract from the connection or the conversations that Devin is having with Virginia on Virginia's side, because Virginia was very closed up. She was not really talking, and she was very guarded. And I understand that she said that she's been hurt a lot before, and that she's not used to dating or has never dated a nice guy before, which is so sad. Like, who are you dating? Who the hell are you dating that is hurting you like that? I'm hoping that she finds herself a nice guy, or that she finds a nice guy in Devin. Anyways, she was playing Mrs. Keep your mouth closed and throw away the key. It was really like, girl, are you gonna share something with the class? Like, seriously? It was getting to that point. But she is a really, she has a very mellow personality, and she is so calming. And I would like to believe that there is something there that is holding her back, and that she just does not feel quite safe at the moment to share. And I'm hoping that she will feel safe at some point enough to share what she has in her heart. Now, Devin did reveal this first to Brittany, Brittany. I'm failing at this name, but let's call her Brit. Um, so he did reveal a really sad and emotional story about how he actually fell off of basketball, and he first shared it with Brittany, and then he came over and said and pretty much shared the same story to Virginia. So he mentioned that he got injured playing basketball, and which pretty much ended his career in the game. He became very lost and upset, and he became addicted to uh, painkillers, and this pretty much in return really caused him to go into a dark space that he actually considered to end things off and to end it all. And that is very sad, of course. Nobody should put so much value in something, in one thing in their life, because when if that is taken away, then it's like you don't have anything to live for, and that's exactly what happened to Devin. And what he said is that how he came out of it was that he really built or got closer to God and really fortified those relationships, and it really helped him to get out of that dark zone and really that dark path. So I'm really glad that things did turn around for Devin, and it was really nice and refreshing to see that he was able to share that and felt safe enough with the two women to share that. And the way Brittany reacted to the story was really cute. She actually started crying, which was really sad, and it was really cute to see that they were able to connect in that moment. However, now we need to just skip over to Brittany because there was a lot happening there. Now, in the beginning, they were having a lot of fun, and there were a lot of like back and forth laughter, just having a lot of fun. Then he got a little bit serious. Then he told her about, the situation about him falling off of basketball and what happened there, and he got into some emotions, and Brittany felt safe enough to share her secret, which is that she has previously dated women. And how did Devin react? Not supportive. No, he was questioning, which I have to be fair. Now, we have to be fair here. He, of course, felt like, wait a minute, what does that mean for us, for your current situation now? Because you are, of course, looking for a husband, not a wife. And of course, it is natural to want to know specifics, to ask questions. But I do think that that might be a deal breaker with Devin. I'm not sure if he's willing to date someone who has dated someone else of the opposite sex. Oh, the same sex, sorry. And we just have to see how this develops. But the way that he reacted to her was definitely not what she wanted or expected him to react, because she even said it herself that I really expected you to be more supportive, to say that, that doesn't matter. You're with me now. This is what matters. And that's what she also says, that when she's in a relationship, she is present in that relationship. She is with that person, and that is the person that counts. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. That is who she's with, and that is where her focus is. But that did not really, even though he said it, Devin did mention that that is quite reassuring. But I don't think that he was really feeling it, and I think that he just said it to, balance it out. I really do not believe that he was reassured in that moment, and I feel like it left him with more questions than anything. I feel sorry for Britt in that moment, because when you're sharing something like that, that is so private, and you could see that that is something that she keeps close to her heart, and that is something that means something to her, and to see his reaction towards that, and I'm not saying that that reaction was wrong in any way, I'm just saying that, of course, for her on her end, it was something that was, of course, hurtful. And I could definitely see that she was hurt by that. So, guys, I think we're going to move on from these couple and, or this threesome, and move on to the next couple, which is none other than Mason and Meg. Now, Mason and Meg is like quite a unique little love story because I really do believe that Meg likes him, but I do believe that she also exaggerates, and she is struggling to read the room because Mason says, at least based on what we're presented, he doesn't speak much throughout their interactions. I feel like he says less with her than what he says with Madison. And he is very kind of like pulls back and he reacts to her. She's very fun, she's bubbly, she has a huge personality that takes up the room. And I feel like he gets lost in that. And he just sits back and enjoys it as entertainment. And he is not really actively participating. He's just sitting back as a spectator and watching and being entertained by what is happening. That is my perspective on that. I do believe that Meg needs to learn to read the room. He's not validating her to the point where she should get so excited about their connection. I feel like, yes, he is selling a dream to her. He is validating and saying that, oh, I really like speaking to you. I'm, he actually mentioned that you are one of my favorite points of the day or highlights of the day or something like that. And I think that he's not saying the right words that needs to be said for her to be so excited. And that is really sad. And I think that we can all relate to this, that when we've been in a situation where we are pretty much like miles away in terms of the connection that we're having to a certain person. And that's what it's coming across as. It seems like Megan is running faster than Mason is willing to keep up. So that is really what it's coming across as. Do I believe that her feelings are genuine? It could be, but at the same time, I feel like she's falling in love with his reactions and not really because himself, because even she has to always ask the questions to really get it out of him. And for him, I don't feel like he asks enough and deep conversation or deep questions on her end. So I feel like it's not a balanced relationship. And I feel like on Meg's side, it is way up here. And on Mason's side, it's like down here. I feel like the commitment on his side, because he's not making any commitments to her. He is simply just validating her, giving her small little petals or pebbles for her to keep up or for her to continue with this. And there's no progression. There's absolutely no progression in that connection. There is not really a deep conversation that they've had this far that really felt like, oh, these feelings here. Now, if we compare it to his connection with Madison, he has actually said that there's feelings being developed here. He speaks more, he questions more, he's actually more freely, he speaks more freely with Madison versus what he has with Meg, which is really sad, of course, for Meg. But I think that is the reality. And we saw his personality come out a little bit more these two episodes where he was more verbal and he was really putting his heart a little bit. He was still guarded because he wouldn't really say the words, but he was very like careful how he worded things. Like even when he was saying that, hello, there might be feelings here, he was still like struggling to find those words to get it out. And now my first review of the first two episodes, I did not trust him. I really felt like he was enjoying the attention more than he was really wanting a connection. And I think that don't want to say that I'm still there, but I do want to say that he has definitely shown me a little bit more than before. And based on that, I think I can clearly say that there's more of a connection with Madison than there is with Meg, which is really sad because you can definitely see that she is just like wanting this so badly. And I don't know if it's because she wants to go forward and progress and go on to like the holidays and stuff, or if she really means it, you know? That is what I question with Meg because she is very loud. She has such a huge personality. Sometimes it's really hard to read what she really like, what her true intentions are. And the fact that she's so vocal about her feelings towards Mason outside of the pods when she's with the girls, and she's just like, oh, I'm falling hard. Like the drama, it's not giving genuine. I have to admit that it's really not giving genuine for me. But we will see. Miss Meg, we will keep watching and we will definitely see what happens. Now, we have to talk about Alex and Madison because that is loaded. I mean, that is heavy. And one thing I'm going to say is that Alex, brother, you need to let go. You need to let go whatever is holding you back. You can definitely see, and this is one thing that I really loved about this episode, is that you could visibly see how his reactions and how his face was changing. Now, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me start from the beginning. Now, from last or the second episode, we ended things off with like, it seemed like they had broken things off, like he was done with her. He didn't want anything to do with her. But then Madison comes back, she bounces back, she gives him a little like cuddly, like teddy bear so he can cuddle as a gesture of reassurance that she still wants to continue with him. And he accepts it, of course. And he's like, oh, I'm excited that, you came back and to hear your voice and everything. So they decided to continue talking. Now, was that the right decision? I do not think so. But these are lessons that they need to learn by themselves anyways. But I really think that they do not fit. They shouldn't be together. Now, they did have a good time. They did move away from the heavy conversation and they did actually like have more lighthearted conversations at first, but then it started getting heavy again. And I like Alex. I really like the fact that he asks the right questions. Like, how do you react in like negative situations? How do you react towards an argument? Do you scream? Do you shout? I'm probably saying, I'm not quoting this 100% correctly, but I like the fact that he asks the right questions. And it is so refreshing to see that someone actually is willing to dig a little bit deeper, but at the same time, once he gets the true and honest response, he then was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was not expecting that. That was a bit too honest. That was a bit too much. And then he starts like, retracting and then starts like closing up and then just shuts down. And we're on that roller coaster again. And that is really sad. And that's what I definitely noticed about Alex, is that he is definitely needs a little bit more time to really work on this. I don't think that he's truly ready and healed. And I think that there's been so much and such a hurtful situation that has happened. And he's been through, multiple painful situations. And I think it has really affected him really deeply. And I think that he needs to spend some more time trying to work those things out. And I don't believe in things such as like, oh, I need to take some time to go and find myself or whatever. No, I do believe in therapy, of course. I think that is very helpful. I do think that therapy sometimes can also be detrimental. That is another topic for another day. But I do think that it is also very, very helpful. And I do believe that someone as reflective as Alex needs to actually learn lessons face to face. I think that he in situations, and I think that it's a really good conversation that he's having with Madison to for him to understand that it's not everybody that is out to hurt you. And if you see red flags, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is going to hurt you. That person is being honest with you and is telling you what that person went through or how that person has reacted. However, I do believe that it takes two to escalate to certain points, unless you are like cray cray. Now, if there is, you saw it with those conversations with that what they were having, the fact that she came back and reassured him, calmed him down, made him trust, build those trusts again, and build those necessary foundation that needs to move forward. I feel like that is a very good lesson for him to learn, that it is possible to have healthy relationships with someone who has been through similar situations as you. It just really depends on both parties. Are you willing to work through it? Are you willing to really make an effort into working this out together? And I think that that is something that he definitely needs to understand and a lesson that he needs to learn, because I've learned this before, and don't quote me on this, but I've definitely learned that throughout my life certain lessons will manifest themselves multiple times continuously until that lesson is learned, until you can check it off your list that, hey, I've learned it, I've overcome this lesson. Then it will not bother you, it won't be a challenge. Now the same thing with Alex. I feel like he's been presented, sorry, he's been presented with a similar situation that he was in, and this was a test for him to see how he would react. Would he run, or would he actually try and see and work this at a different angle and work together with the person to try and actually move forward and have a healthier relationship? Now, homeboy failed. Hands down, he failed. He was scared. Every time there were red flags popping up, he was like, yeesh, let me shut that down. Let me just like creep under a blanket or something. He was scared. And that is wrong. And that is very visible. It's very visible and very apparent that he still is not finished with his healing process and journey. He still has some work to do on himself. And he needs to recognize that he has a lot of hurt that he has not actually like processed. Because as reflective as Alex is, and I'm going to keep saying that, it is very apparent that he is an overthinker. He is in his head, because you could see his face changing. And it was, I'm sorry to say this, but this was beautiful TV. It was amazing because you could see the reaction. You could see just his face in general changing, how it went from being exciting to being sad to being to questioning to processing to thinking. He's like doing the math in his head. Like it was incredible to see that all written in that man's face. And it is so sad to see that he has to still, he's so fearful and he's going through that. And I think that he could be somebody really great. He could be a great partner to somebody if he is just willing to take it from another angle and actually work together with that person. Now, I want to keep this video shorter than the last. And I just want to say that I am hopeful. I am going to be Delulu and be hopeful for the season, but we will see. Because 6 episodes in the pod, it is... Help us. Help us. But guys, I'm just kidding. We're gonna make it, and we're gonna enjoy this, and I'm gonna definitely keep watching and reviewing this, and I'm excited for the next video. So please, please, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you have any thoughts, or if there's something that you think was completely off base here that I said. Please, please, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. And guys, thank you for the support, and please continue to support my little channel. I'll see you on the next one.